he ever change? Should I stay or should I go? Because when it is good, it's very good, but when it is bad, it's very bad. And could I know at the first place that he is an abuser? I agree, there is no sign on his forehead, but there are many other behavioral signs by which you can quickly determine that the show won't be fun and leave without waiting for the intermission. If you make yourself familiar with the tricks they use, you will be protected and careful not to become a part of their cruel scenario. So make sure you stick to the end of this video, as each of the steps they take has a logical sequence. My name is Darina and I am a fourth-year psychology student. I run a psychology vlog for a happier living and happier relationships. So hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. The first step in a narcissistic abuse scenario I called enchantment and adjustment. You met a Prince Charming and you tell all your friends that he is the one. He loves what you love. He guesses your most secret desires and you do not have to ask him for anything. Your friends are fascinated by him or dreaming about finding someone similar. If he has the financial ability, he is going to shower you with expensive holidays, presents, surprises, etc. You have a feeling that you are in a romantic movie and you are the main character in it. So everything looks like what you were looking for, and all your previous struggles were just so you could meet this wonderful person. But as much as we would like to think that we just won a jackpot, if someone seems so perfect, there is a big red flag to look closely at. One important phrase I want you to remember: perfect people do not exist. Perfect masks do. So through this love bombing, they want to quickly get you into their nets, so you would not realize who they truly are under their mask. Step number 2 in a narcissistic abuse scenario is rapprochement. Your partner tries to move in together as soon as possible. You might even get a marriage proposal on the third date. Also, he might speak about how exciting it would be if you guys had the children soon. So he can say something like, "I want our daughter to be as beautiful as you are," and so on. Sounds like a fairy tale, isn't it? But in reality, a narcissist, abuser, or a psychopath is not good at long-distance games. They rather sprinters, not marathon runners, as they cannot control their impulses very well. And by the way, along the way, you might actually find out that they have an alcohol, drug, or gambling dependency. So I will repeat again that the speed of their actions indicate that it's very difficult for them to play the role of a perfect guy. That's why it is necessary to get close faster so that they can finally relax and show their real face. By the way, if you keep watching this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us creators. Step number 3 in narcissistic abuse I called tightening the screws. This is where the fun part begins. So you guys are living together and most of the time the woman is already pregnant and in quite a vulnerable position. A control begins. What exactly is going to happen? Full verification of phone contacts, not just a bit of jealousy, but to the point of insanity. Devaluing and humiliating all important people in your life and isolating you from those who can eventually help, like family and friends. Often the victim is asked to leave work at the beginning of the relationship, and looking at that fairy tale show, it seems quite logical, as the partner promises to support the family and you can just be a beautiful flower. But as we already understand, it ends up in even more control and financial dependence. However, in public, abusers play their perfect spouse role, so no one believes the victim. Yes, he might have his moments, but he still loves me, and by controlling everything, he just shows that he cares about us, and so on and so forth. But the truth is that a victim of narcissistic abuse is left in a vulnerable position, embarrassed and still not ready to admit that she is in trouble. She still cannot wrap her head around how someone can become literally a different person so quickly. She still remembers that he can be a Prince Charming. She saw it, she felt it, so she can even blame herself that if she would be a better partner and do what he asks, everything would return to as it was before. Step number 4 in a narcissistic abuse scenario is mental or physical abuse, or the boiled frog effect. There is such a thing as emotional stretching in psychology. It is when you slowly agree to something that you normally would not have agreed to whatsoever. First you are controlled, restricted, then yelled at, then humiliated, then insulted, and after all beaten. Hypothetically, if the beating would happen at the beginning of the relationship, you would not have tolerated it. But because it was gradual, your boundaries have been pushed and you become where you are now. You are going to be told the most horrible things, that you are fat, worthless, that you worth nothing without him, that you are going to become homeless without him, that no one ever on this planet would love you again. And of course, if you are going to tell this to someone with adequate self-esteem, when there is critical reasoning, these words would be perceived as the ravings of a lunatic. But if you have been under this pressure day by day, month by month, year by year, you might start to believe it. But then a very logical question arises. If I'm such a horrible person, why would you need me? Cards on the table. Abusers are very insecure people. Narcissists have a huge problem with self-esteem, and therefore they only feel safe and important when your self-esteem has been destroyed by insults or beatings, and you have no one close to you left, so they can finally control you fully and have peace of mind that you would never leave them. Very often they are also sadists, because who would enjoy another person's pain? And they do it because of this feeling of control and power over the other person. I know it might make you sick, it makes me sick also, but if we know people like that exist, we can be more careful. What do you do if you've already been in abusive relationships? The answer is simple: run, full stop. If you want to stay alive and be physically and mentally healthy, you must run. I know it is easier to say than to do, but you have to ask for help from your relatives, friends, psychologists, counselors, or use a helpline. I'm going to leave information about these free services in the description of this video. I also think I might cover in detail how to leave an abuser in one of the next videos, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next videos.